Economist Yukon Huang, former World Bank Director for China, explains why the usual ways of understanding countries don't quite fit China. He reveals what makes China so effective and how the economy grew at an incredible 10% annually for 30 years.
China's going through an evolutionary process. Think about this. Here's a country that's been growing at almost 10% a year for 3 decades. What does conventional wisdom say in our textbooks about growth and development? It says you need the rule of law. You need strong institutions. You need inclusive institutions to grow rapidly, validated across many country experiences. So how come a country with, frankly, limited development of rule of law, relatively weak, or what I call institutions which are not quite right, limited accountability in some ways, grow at 10% a year for 3 decades? Okay, so what is it that makes China different from an India, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Colombia, or Africa, or Nigeria? 2 things. Extraordinarily competitive economy because it competes externally, always open in terms of trade. Secondly, extraordinarily competitive internally because the provinces compete against each other. You have 25, 30 provinces. They both operate, they invest, they do businesses. And you have state enterprises and you have private firms. They all compete. In India, the states do not compete with each other. Now, how does a province compete? A province competes because it supports economic activity, but it competes because the head of the province, the party secretary of a province, or the governor of the province doesn't come from the province. He's appointed from Beijing with the mandate that he needs to basically develop, improve, and do something to get the conditions better. He's competing with leaders elsewhere, and if he succeeds, he gets promoted. So somebody like Xi Jinping has worked in 4 or 5 major leadership positions in different parts of China, and if he does well, he gets promoted. This creates a competition that you do not see. That's very different.